Uh-oh, looks like we've got a celebrity in the house on the Theapostlep channel. What does that say? Lionsteel, D2 steel. TNP-057? Stay tuned. Hi gang, Rob here. It's the morning of 6 January 2014. Hiding in the house, making YouTube videos on a snowy, gorgeous, sunny winter morning. It's about 15 below outside. I wanted to take a look today with you at a Lionsteel SR-1A, but not just any Lionsteel SR-1A. Not a boring black-handled, drop-pointed, run-of-the-mill SR-1A. Nope. Today we've got a celebrity in the house. Courtesy of my viewer and sharpening customer Richard, we have SR-1A number TNP 057. Yeah, it's a nut and fancy special edition SR-1A, isn't it? Sorry guys, I'm left-handed. Interesting modification, isn't it? You take a drop point blade with a nice crown spine and you clip it. If you look, that crown spine terminates and then the clip grind is flat. No crowning, no swedge. Not sure how fond of that I am. I would have preferred something that didn't look so much like an afterthought, I guess. But it is what it is. I also noticed the blade grind might be just a little different. I don't know. You know, the drop point has that sort of pronounced transition right through here. I think you can actually pick that up. And then the TNP knife, it just doesn't seem to be as prominent. It seems to be flatter and has more of an actual distal taper. Let's see. Can we see that? Yeah, maybe not. Other than that, the two blades are identical. Both of these knives, mine and Richard's, have had the normal Theapostlep sharpening choil mod done to them, so we can actually put a good sharp edge all the way to the back. No flare from the plunge grind. I think that came out great on Richard's knife, actually, maybe a little better than mine. And let's see, what did we do to it while it was here? Yeah, we did modify the sharpening choil so it's the way it should be. We took the knife apart, polished the internals, lubricated. Oh yeah, and we did apply this gorgeous mirror polished edge. Came out awesome. 17 degrees per side on the secondary bevel and then a 20-degree micro. Oh man, did it come out sharp. Yeah. Richard, I think you're going to be happy with that. I kind of like the fact that this is a satin TNP knife. Many of them, I think, were in the black DLC coating. I just love the way D2 satin finishes. And I know a lot of guys like that purple and black together, but oh, I'm a sucker for satin. One thing I wanted to talk about, it's not specific to this knife, but it's something this knife reminded me of that I've started to notice with Lionsteel knives. I don't know if it is an issue of super high production and their quality process has fallen off, or whether it's tooling getting old, or whether they're skipping some steps, or supplier issues. I don't know, but there are two areas that I've started to see some problems in these knives. First is the Lockup, and believe it or not, we've got a stainless on stainless lock interface. And I'm seeing some stick develop in some of these knives. And this is actually the third one I've had in for sharpening that has it. This isn't the worst of the three, but it's there. Here's my old black SR-1A, and this is kind of an early production piece. And I'm going to open this right-handed, and I'm going to open it with a lot of pressure from these two fingers on the lock bar. So theoretically, I'm making it engage as deep and as tightly as it can. Now I'm going to release it, and you listen close. Yeah, you didn't hear anything. Do it again. That's as hard as I can make that knife lock up. Now watch and listen. There is absolutely no stick. I'm going to do the same thing with Richard's knife. Quiet. Same method. Now listen. That's actually not horrible, but that's significant stick. It was actually way worse when I got it. It was sticking at times so bad that I'd have to actually pull back on the blade and pull the lock with my finger to get it to release. Did a little light stoning on the lock face. That did mitigate the problem significantly, but not the first time I've seen that. My intention was, yeah, that is that weird, believe me. Stainless on stainless interface with significant lock stick. Why? I actually expected to go downstairs and take a couple stills of this lock insert and this lock insert and be able to show you something different. Because all three knives I've had in that exhibited the stick, I've taken the lock face insert out and looked at the face of it, and it is carbidized. All three of them have been. Yeah, stainless lock insert, carbidized. I have no idea why. I thought maybe we had some bad lockups, and they ran out of inserts, and to maybe remedy late lockup, they were throwing a bunch of tungsten carbide on the lock surface to make it lock up earlier, and then because that was so much harder than the blade tang, it was causing stick. And it's real globby carbidizing. It's not apparently well done. I've never seen stainless on stainless lock interfaces that had stick. And it has stick. There's just no way around it. So I thought I would take this one off, show you the nasty carbidized face, and then take the one off my black knife and show you that it was just nicely machined, hardened stainless steel. But guess what? A funny thing happened on the way to the sharpening bench. This has the same nasty carbidized face that this one does, but it doesn't have any stick. I don't get it. Don't know. I don't understand it. But if you get an SR1 or an SR1A, apparently there's a 50-50 chance you're going to have a significantly sticky lock. And I didn't really know that. I thought the first couple I saw were anomalies, and so just know that going in. Maybe my previous endorsement of this knife might not be so enthusiastic now. The other thing is the pivot. I just uploaded another video earlier on the Dendra Typhoon, which has this identical pivot. It's built by Lionsteel. It's got some jacked up pivot issues. The screws are actually a different drive size from one side to the other. And then this knife, again, this is not the first time I've seen it. The female threads of the actual pivot itself are much larger in effective diameter than the male screws. Unless you tighten this knife so that the blade almost won't move, the screws just back right out. You You can watch the pivot turn in the handle. Every time you open and close it, you can watch the pivots turning, and then you cycle the knife 30 or 40 times, and you can just take the screw and turn it out with your fingers. That's even with blue Loctite. The clearances between the male threads and the female threads of this pivot and one of the other Lionsteel SR-1As that I've worked on were so horrendously large that blue Loctite couldn't even set up and fix the pivot in place. I'm not sure what to do about that. It's made me have to reassemble this knife after going to the effort of tuning the action and lubricating it so tightly that it's just not that fun to use. Compared to this knife, which almost falls closed on itself. I wish I could make this one better and feel like the pivot screw wouldn't fall out, but I can't. Maybe so far the SR-1A and maybe the SR-2 series have been kind of immune to the normal Lionsteel criticisms of poor execution and lots of process variability. We watched Lionsteel kind of get run through the funny papers on the DPX Hest knife, the RYP knife, as well as the Spyderco Lion Spy, and haven't really heard too much negative on the SRs, but I'm starting to see kind of that same lack of attention to detail. I don't know if the process is set up and everything's great as long as it's running perfectly, but I don't know that there are that many. I don't know if there's an adequate level of control in Lionsteel's manufacturing process to detect and correct an out of control process. It just seems like something starts to go bad and then it just continues bad until they get a lot of bad press, and then they maybe fix it, sort of. So I don't know, at this point maybe my advice would be, I don't know, buy a used one. Ask your retailer before he sells it to you if it has any stick. Ask him if the pivot's fallen out. I don't know. But I'm kind of hesitant to buy another Lionsteel product. I've really been contemplating an SR-2A. And if any of you have them and you're weighing in on the comments, in fact, please do weigh in the comments. Let me know what you're seeing on that lock insert and your pivot threads. Maybe they've got it corrected now, I hope, because it's really kind of starting to bother me, maybe you can tell. So other than those problems, however, purple handle, cooler in person than it is on video. Blade shape, super cool. Although, I wish they could have done the spine better. The TNP SR-1A, what a beauty. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Have a great day, and remember, the word is sharp.